What does X-Men 97 and X-Men 9.9s have in common? Both topics on the Into the Void episode 30 podcast. Welcome to the Paper Chase channel. Hello.
Don't curse.
Oh, I thought you were saying hookers.
Hookers and blow.
I was like, that Goblin Queen really got in your head.
Oh man, yeah.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of the Into the Void podcast, episode 30. And missed you all, buddy. How you been?
I'm good, man. Like, this is literally how we're hanging out right now.
Yeah.
I've seen you once physically since the kiddo's been born. You know, this is how we are hanging out now. You know, like I told the wife, I'm like, look, I got a podcast tonight. So I could like sneak off and hang out with you. I feel like we're at the sock hop and we're just trying to find the broom closet, you know, just trying to hang out and get some time together.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And it's been amazing, you know, being a dad and all. It's great. And you've been awesome helping me get ready for this con, bagging and boarding some stuff. So appreciate that. You know, yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
What is up with the chat? How's it going in the chat, everybody?
What's up, Into the Void people?
And so tonight, we didn't really. Yeah, it's okay. But we're going to, and of course, if you guys could, as always, hit the like button. It really helps push the stream, push the chat out to more people, get more people in the conversation, and we just end up having a better time. But we got the usual suspects in the chat here early. We got Zimman, who we did an amazing trade. Man, he hooked me up with some great books, and I tried to reciprocate the best I could. And so definitely check out his IG. Fingers and Toes and Emily, always here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Dark Claw is in the house, who is...
The Albert,
yes, sir. He's been helping me get ready for this con too, answering questions. And Rob Fanguy's in the house. What's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, man. We've missed you. We'll probably see you in a few weekends as well. All right.
I like to hear it. Yeah, very well reciprocated. Good, Johnny. Good for you, man. Because you got a good little horror book back there, didn't you? Was it Halloween?
Yeah, I got a Halloween number 2. Just not the first Mike Myers, but it is one of the rarely low print run ones that's kind of hard to come by, and it's in very, very high grade. So yeah, it's great. And then I got 2 Freddy comics, the magazines, which are actually Freddy's first appearance in comics. That's not the Fright number 3. That's just like a cover comic appearance, but that's his first in story. And I read both of them, and they are, I would say, not the greatest stories. They're weird, man. But it doesn't matter. I still love them both. They're amazing.
That's the thing. Like, sometimes you chase these books down. So, like, obviously, like my taste is different than yours. I'm a big Child's Play fan if we're talking about the horror stuff. And then I also like RoboCop a lot. And all the books are terrible. There's not a good one ever. I've never seen or read a good RoboCop, not even in the Frank Miller ones, and I've never read a good Child's Play a book at all ever. There's just not. It doesn't exist. You know, It's so weird because it's like such good like it's fucking Chucky, man. How can you not have a good story with him at some point? And maybe it's like that with Michael Myers. I don't know, or Jason Voorhees and all that stuff like that. You know?
Yeah. I don't know if anybody watches the new Child's Play series, but apparently it's actually not terrible. The reviews are not the worst as what you would expect. I think it's the same like creators and stuff, or some of the same writers and stuff, and a lot of the same people. Brad Dourif, who I think is the right name, who did his voice originally, I think is in it and stuff.
Oh,
so,
yes.
The same people. Yeah. Stuff. Well, so like we said, Plagueis is in the house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, he made it.
If I
knew he was having some problems, you know.
X97, I swear I'm. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like, you know, like most of what we're talking about tonight has been covered in the past couple of nights. You know, X-Men 97 aired yesterday. Everybody did their podcast, and then the X-Men 9.9 giant size thing happened a couple of days ago. So a lot of people have covered it, but we want to talk about it with you guys because y'all are special and y'all are family.
Because they haven't heard our fucking opinion, Johnny. They don't know what we think about it, and I don't know what you think about it. I know what I think about it. I know what I think about X-Men '97, but I have no idea what you're thinking about Ultimate Spider-Man 3. We can talk that for sure. That's out. I had to go run and get that today so I could read it so we could talk about it tonight.
So if you're, did you see some of the variants for that?
No. Well, I saw one. It's like it's the one I kind of had to pick up. The second one had the variant I had to get up. It was like Mary Jane and like Miles Morales or something like that on the cover.
Okay.
My opinion, they're stupid.
I'm not a huge fan of homage covers, and they're all especially the ones.
Yeah, you are. You have a ton of them. You have a fuck ton of homage covers.
These are the only two I like right here. Right.
But you just have a lot. You have a lot. It doesn't mean you like them. You just have them. For monetary purposes of sales at some point.
Yeah, they sell well, and that's why Marvel creates them, because they sell well. So I do have some for sale for sure. But the ones, and I'm really a fan of if they're done with some substance to them. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is one here. I thought was brilliant. This is an homage to, when the Spider-Man No More, when he gives up the suit, and he's in the alley with the suit in the trash can. But now it's in the laundry basket, and he's doing his dad thing. Like, I think this is homage done perfectly. So I had to pick this thing up. And this is that
so you appreciate a little parody, Parody.
Yeah, make it
with your homage.
If you're gonna homage it, make it mean something, especially if it touches with the story that's inside. That's just A+ 100. But if you're just copying a cover just because, that's stupid.
Well, again, like I said, obviously, I'm not even going to mention the obvious stuff. But Mike Mayhew had a few good homage covers. He did. And again, let me always praise everybody for saying homage and not homage. Because when I was a kid, it was homage.
Yes.
What a homage cover that is, man. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. But what did you think? And it doesn't matter. Today's Thursday, so let's go with the spoilers. Because if you're a comic book reader, you should have read it. Sorry, Rob, you didn't read it. You're behind. That's on you. But what did you think about the story? Where are we at on book 3? Spoilers all in.
I think it's great. I think it was very touching to see him and his daughter going through the different types of suits when he was trying on all the different suits, and she was kind of helping him land. He eventually lands on the regular classic Spider-Man suit, but she was kind of like, no, I don't like this one because of this or that one. I thought that was fun. It's all just, character building and giving people, I think, what a lot of people were missing for a long time, which is just Peter Parker enjoying a family life, the family that he should have had. So they're not straying away from that. It's like they gave it to you in issue 1, and it's not like, okay, here you go, now we're going to go off and just do Spider-Man stuff. It's like they're keeping that as part of the catalyst to tell the story, and I think it's perfect. And then I think it wasn't, nothing major really happened in it. He met Harry Osborn for the officially.
Nothing major. Time. He just met,
Yeah, I don't think that's I wouldn't say that's a huge thing, but it looks like they're going to be friends, and that's cool, right? Because that's something that he always misses out on. He's not super it looks like they might be partners in this whole thing, which is a really cool change, and they get to be friends and also partners in crime fighting.
This all has to eventually. Two things. I want to light on something. When you're talking about May Parker was looking at the costumes and things like that. It was just the one panel at the bottom of the page where it kind of flipped him through, and I was like, oh man, that's cool. That's cool. Please don't pick the regular Spider-Man suit, And then boom. I guess they had to. Sure. But when I turned the page and I saw that's the costume they picked, I was thinking to myself the dangers and the perils of doing this comic are the fact that eventually you have to put back to the story we know. I don't want it to. I don't want it to. I like the child endangerment when he was flying around town with Mayday on his back. I thought that was fun. I feel though when they do the norms, giving him the blue and red suit with the webs, that eventually they have to do a Spider-Man story that we know, and I don't want them to do that. I think that they're making the overtures by having Harry Osborn and not Norman be the Green Goblin and things like that. And then you got your Bullseye guy who, of course, is not going to be whatever his name is. It's going to be somebody else completely, probably a female, and then it's setting up nicely. But I almost with this issue, and I'm not trying to be a naysayer dickhead, but I'm saying I almost felt like I'm starting to like maybe wait for the shoe to drop a little bit, just a little bit. The shoe to drop and it not to be cool, because right now it's cool. I like it, but we do know at some point they have to make a circle and come back around to the maker, you know. So like, how long can this like shiny and new last? That's just my thought, you know.
Yeah. Whenever you say it's gonna go back to the same old stuff, like I mean, like what's something like, I mean, how do I put this?
He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him by somebody. He's gonna be lying bloody in the street, and he's gonna be like, "No, not my family, not my friends." He's gonna, and then somebody's gonna be standing over him, and it's gonna be raining, and then invariably John Romita Jr. will ruin something.
Okay.
Sorry, John, don't come to my house.
Yeah. So I mean, no, I think it's a great setup. I think it's doing good. I think with the way that Hickman set up the Ultimate Universe, I think there's still a lot of variants and not cover variants. I mean, like variations in ways that they can tell this story, for sure. With the way everything is set up, with Fisk running the Daily Bugle, and freaking Ben and Jonah Jameson getting their whole, they're starting a whole news media headquarters. I think that's a very interesting storyline as well, because, if you can control I don't know if this is a saying or not, maybe it is. If you control the media, you can control the people. Like, so you're going to have this battle for maybe true media.
Quoting 1984?
Is that what that's from?
I mean, if it's not, it probably is.
I think that's a low-key, kind of cool war that's going to be happening of like the Fisk media versus the Parker and J. Jonah Jameson media, like them trying to do their thing. I think that's going to be very cool. Did y'all
That would
see...
be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And I hope that they don't. I hope that they don't like ejaculate too soon and blow their wad on the story and end it too quickly. I think that a good slow burn would be good with this, man. You know, I'm just checking up words on my list that I said I was going to say on the show.
Sure.
I feel like let it go for a while.
Oh, Claw! I was actually just about to say this. Claw, there you go. There's a J. Scott Campbell variant for issue 4 that looks great. He actually did 3 of them. Let's see if we can look those up. Those are interesting. He did. Hold on one sec.
What was that thing in the back of Nintendo Power? Lock arm?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The one of the comics had like that, like a young J. Scott Campbell. It had a picture of Lock Arm. It's so good, dude.
Yeah, Lock Arm. That's I think doesn't. Oh yeah, here we go. Check this out. So J. Scott Campbell is doing a 3-issue homage, and he's taking his 3.
Fuck.
I guess you can call now again. These are. They have substance because they have to do with like the story, and he's homaging himself, and he's turning his previous work on its head. This is homage done, I think, in a good way.
Is it the Mary Jane Parker on the sofa? Please, oh God.
Yeah, those 3 big books. So the Mary Jane on the sofa, the Black Cat kiss, and then the Black Cat wearing his Spidey suit, and she's biting the pearls.
What the fuck? I never even saw that.
Really?
Biting the pearl? Jesus, man.
Yeah.
I gotta pay extra for that cover?
So here's so that's the one right there. That's cool, man.
That's a cool cover.
That's cool.
I won't afford it because it's gonna be 1 in 100.
I think it's 3,000. He said 3,000.
2,500. Oh, sorry, 3,000 for the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each one has to be 3,000, I think, because that's Marvel's limit. You have to at least print 3,000.
Well, the kissing one says 2,500. It's 2 and 3. B and C say 2,500 each.
Let's see. Where's the other ones?
Oh yeah, he's done that a bunch.
So,
isn't that like
the Black Cat one?
Doesn't David Nakayama do a bunch of those covers with the kissing thing?
I don't know. Maybe.
Where's the biting the pearls one?
Well, so he's giving her a pearl necklace.
Oh, stop.
He is.
Stop.
But he is.
Mom, Johnny's being gross.
Yeah, you're right. That was only the second joke like that tonight.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, it's fun to have a list of words.
Yeah.
If you just
So
get
those
'em
are
off.
those are interesting and cool. And I think if you're gonna do homage, homage yourself and make it different. And so yeah. What y'all think? Anybody getting those?
Boing. Johnny, I would get the first one, but you know what's going to happen? There's going to be some fucking pack of vultures out there, with sweaty butt cracks. We're going to get all 2,500 of them before I can get there, or 3,000 of them. I mean, like, how would one go ahead and
you
get
have
that?
you're gonna have to order it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to. It's going to be like $20.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
Why can't like the really cool cover? So let me ask you a question, Johnny. If you were a cartoon artist or a comic book artist, and they're like, okay, we want you to do the cover of X-Men, and you're like, oh, awesome, and then they're like, you're cover A. Would you be like, fuck?
No, no. I think that's an honor.
You're cover A, but like what's cover B? Oh, David Nakayama. Who's cover C? Bill Sienkiewicz. Well, fuck.
No, man. No. Cover A is an honor. That's the one that's like put out to. That's the one
readers.
that's marketedly put out to. On the forefront of the marketing of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think art is very much the cream rises. If you have something good and different, the best art isn't always the best, most skillful drawing. It's the one that makes more of a statement with their cover, or does something different that starts to get on a hot list or goes up in value. And I think if you're going to be cover A, just I think it's a great achievement to have that. And if you're not cover A, then just give your best shot and see how it does.
So you mentioned that, and trust me, we're gonna get to everything else. But I was thinking about this, and I was actually reading on Facebook like an old man the other day. Somebody brought up the new Daredevil cover done by John Romita Jr. With Wolverine and Daredevil on it. I don't know if you've seen it, but and actually, I want you to leave these up because this is some pretty good art right here. But I'm flummoxed because I'm gonna show you this cover on my screen.
Okay.
I'm flummoxed because I'm a Daredevil reader, and the Daredevil book is really good right now.
Wait, that's not the one you're talking about, right?
Yes, it is. It's absolutely talking about.
Oh, that is the one. Okay.
Yeah. So on this cover, and you can't see it again, John Romita Jr. Please don't come to my house and beat me up. I have a lot of your books. I am a fan. I'm confused. My faith is shaken a little bit. Just on this cover right now. Listen, John Romita drew what? What do you know him to draw? He drew Batman. He drew Punisher. He drew Spiderman. He drew Daredevil a long time ago. He drew the most penultimate Daredevil books I own. What else? He drew X-Men for a little while and things like that. And he was great. He was wonderful. And I don't want to make this sound like I'm talking about what's his face, Rob Liefeld kind of hatred, but I don't understand his art now. Like on this cover, you can't see Daredevil has like his hand is huge.
Yeah,
it's completely. And then like Daredevil's getting stabbed by Wolverine in the belly, and like
At a first glance, I was gonna say that doesn't look good, but I didn't look at it for long enough. So I didn't want to jump. I was gonna say that doesn't look like quality.
You're right. And the thing is this because like, dude, I and we've talked about this, but it's important. It's like you talk about companies like that. That's a cover. Like that's like if I was gonna go buy that book, I'd be like, oh, two guys. I was laughing because I'm bagging those Superman covers, those books for you, the Superman books for the show. Yeah. And man, I know what the entire comic book is about, or it's going to be the synopsis of the book because of the damn cover.
The cover. These have
like 100 word bubbles, and they're talking.
Yeah.
I understand that. And I wouldn't mind them having word bubbles now. That's fine. Let me know what's going on in there. You're gonna get it. That kind of thing like that. I just, but so John Romita Jr. like, is that the cream of the crop, or is that just like hanging on to a legacy? I don't know. I'm confused. I just don't understand.
It's a name. There's John Romita fans. So, hey, put John Romita on it, and the John Romita fans will probably pick up some copies. I think it's just more of a name. Who's that?
But eventually, the Emperor has no clothes, and we all know, right? Isn't that how that works? I mean, this is another cover he did, Amazing Spider-Man. He just did this one as well, and
that one looks better at a first glance. Than I don't know though.
It's so weird. Like he became like. So everybody who's been reading Amazing Spider-Man, if you're still reading it at all, the problem was, and Fingers and Noses is right. Like, and he doesn't even really read that stuff. But the gang war, Amazing Spider-Man. I was talking to someone about this the other day. The gang war that just happened could have been an amazing story, and it might have been an amazing story. I just don't know because I couldn't get over how bad the art was for the entire run. Like it was so like like it was constantly like every page had one of those panels where like everybody's facing each other fighting, like constantly, just like, I mean, dude, really? But anyway, so I kind of digress there. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, it just seems like some of these, not all of them, but some of these old school guys, maybe at a certain point, maybe the guys that started in like the 80s, like, did they just like get lazy and like, but like how Fingers and Toes uses the perfect phrase, phoned in, like, hey, you want to make a quick, I don't know what they pay artists for a cover or what John Romita charges, but you want to make a quick $2,000, give us a cover A for the Spider-Man, and it doesn't look like, I mean, maybe they've just drawn all their stuff and now they're just like doing it for a quick paycheck.
They're like athletes, they just lose it. They just lose the quality after a while, like, I can't draw anymore.
Yeah. Hang on one sec. I mean, the greatest phoned in comic cover of all time. We all know.
Come on. This is the controversial one. Are you going to show the one where the guy like allegedly was ill, or are you going to show the Frank Miller one?
No, the greatest phoned in, quickly done comic cover of all time. Sound off in the chat. Actually, well, let's see if the chat can get this right.
I just, again, we've also touched on this, but like, man, I just remember like how much it used to like cost to get these damn books, and I remember like, and I mentioned it, and we joked about it one time when you were going through the books. You got this book. It was an X-Men, and I can't remember which one it is, but it was the worst story ever. It was just the shittiest story inside the comic, and I was like, in the Morlock's cave.
Yeah.
God damn it, man. But I think to myself, like, I mean, like, I understand like jumping between arcs, like when you go from one arc to another, you have to have like that one issue where they're like swimming and playing basketball, like the X-Men were, that one issue that became homaged a million times over. One fucking issue where they're like playing basketball and by a pool, and next thing you know, like everybody has to keep doing that cover over and over, just for some bikini shots.
I mean, I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more covers to come out that are, homage worthy. The stuff that people's going to be homaging in 20 years. Like, I feel like if you're a new artist, like that's got to be your goal. If you're a new artist and you're doing homages, that can't be your idea. That can't be your idea. That's got to be Marvel or somebody. And I think we talked about this last podcast. That's got to be somebody saying like, look, you want to do a cover? All right, homage this. It'll be easy to sell, kind of get your foot in the door. But I feel like if you're a new artist, you want to create the cover that's going to be homaged a thousand times.
Man, you just made me think about last show where you got all mad about the Marvel people. I don't want to poke that bear, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
So look, this is the greatest. This is the greatest homage cover. I'm sorry, not homage cover.
Phoned in.
The greatest phoned in cover of all time.
Oh my! Shut up. Shut up.
Am I lying, chat?
You went this way. You went this way.
But this is the truth. This is it. This is true. Todd McFarlane did this so quick. That's why. Okay. Actually, it's not even his fault. The moon that's missing on the left by his by his cape that's not colored in.
Shit.
That's actually the coloring department actually fucked that up.
See it.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't even realize that. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. But this whole thing, the reason why
it's Pac-Man now.
Yeah. That's funny. The reason why this looks the way it did was because the easiest way for him to rush this drawing was to draw as little anatomy as possible. It's so easy for him to draw a cape. Cape's easy for an artist, is what he says. And I can see how that's true. And so he's like, so I just drew a bunch of cape everywhere. And he's like, I did it quick and I gave it to him, and everybody freaked out over it because of how different it was. One, he's great, but it's different. So that's what everybody's always looking for. What's the new thing? What's the different thing?
I wish there was an engineer out there, like a smart computer person that could take that cover and unfurl his cape. I want to see what that cape actually looks like. Has this been done?
Have you seen? Hold on.
God damn, I love people.
You've never seen this?
No, I want to see what that cape looks like if it's like laid out on the ground.
Wait. What is it? Hold on. Give me 1 second to find this. This is hilarious.
That should be homage more. That one could be homage in so many good ways. I've never seen that one homage. That one could be done in so much of a good way, you know? Could you...
Todd homages it.
Does he? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fucking Spawn, probably.
Let's see. Yeah, it's Spawn. Dude, and I wish... This is when I first started collecting, and I didn't realize what I had. Well, I knew what I had. I didn't realize how much I liked it, though. I had that Spawn homage, and I sold it.
It's because you were a mover and a shaker.
Sometimes.
I want to know how big that... Yeah, like Fingers and Toes says. I need to know. I want to know... I want to know how that cape looks. Like, did he get out of the Batmobile and was like, oh, shit, check. You know, like, there's just no way, dude. Yeah, there's no way.
Okay, what I'm trying to find is this.
That's kind of productive. He's wearing tights and a bed sheet.
It's the drawing of what his body would have to look like under that cape to make it in that form. Dude, and basically, I don't want to say it because if you just see it, it's really funny. But I'm not finding it anywhere online. I'm gonna give it like another 10 seconds. Yeah, anyway,
that has to exist. But I did find that really cool X-Men one for you. I was all proud of myself, dude. Tail was wagging. I went around the house going like, John,
which
trying
one?
to cover that John had never seen. The X-Men one I sent you last night while I was sitting on the toilet. The black and white X-Men, the Mike Mayhew one.
Oh yeah, that is cool. That homage of the astonishing X-Men #6, dude. That was cool.
Pretty proud of myself. There it is.
It's a very, very cool cover. You got it?
No, fuck no, I don't have that. It's like $50.
That's cool. Have y'all ever seen this cover? Let's see if we can find it. What issue?
It'll grow great with that slab that you're trying to get rid of. I don't know. It was in our text message last night. I would have showed you in person, but I don't ever get to see you in person anymore. Y'all, I did see his baby. His baby's fun. He's got hellacious gas, but he's a great kid.
He is. He is awesome.
It is number 4. X-Men number 4, something like that. Yeah. You know, and it's cool. And he homages himself, so that's worthwhile. And
this is cool.
I wanted that book from you. I actually that slab you have, but you know,
which one? The 9.8 of this?
Was it 9.8? I think it was like 9.4. So it's the Abigail brand one. It's the one that has the Colossus and Kitty Pryde on the cover. You know, which I actually have never. Sure. I've never figured out why they actually broke up. I know she was like dating like Star-Lord for some time. And now she's just a whiskey drinking pirate. And actually, now she's just an assassin killing people.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, that's fucking cool, dude. Look at that.
It's cool.
See, I would see that cover and I'm like, what is that? I want to know what's going on in there, you know? I don't necessarily see this cover and think that. I'm kind of like, all right, 2 guys like fisting off here with canes and swords. Or whatever, you know. Wait, that was not on my list.
That was on your list.
No.
Yeah, this one does go good with that. Later, Plagueis. See you, bud. Thanks for dropping in.
All right, brother.
Check out Plagueis on IG.
Always.
And also, I saw who else popped
dioramas.
up in here. Hoodrat popped up in here. I don't know if he's still here or not, but Hoodrat popped in here for a second. What's up, buddy? Good to see you again. So yeah, this one goes good with that X-23 one. That is gorgeous.
Yeah. Which is another book that hard to get. You know.
Yeah. So what do you think? Are we going to start seeing more Goblin Queen covers?
Okay. So you want to get it? Oh no. Why did you do that? You made me think about it now. All right. So now that Plagueis is gone, we can talk X-Men 97.
Let's go.
All right. You ready? Do you have any kind of little thing we can drop here?
Even for X-Men 97, the intro music, anything sing it in your head.
Sing the new version of it.
It's pretty much the same.
There's some weird solo thing at the middle. Look, okay. X-Men 97 portion, go now. Okay. John, you go first.
X-Men 97?
Yeah.
Okay, so we haven't talked about the show at all. Rob's out. See you, buddy. Later, man. Good to see you again. See you on the 20th.
Later, Bal. Later.
We have not talked about the show one bit. I think the show is incredible, man. I think it's everything that, comic fans and MCU fans needed, and people that are rooting for, not necessarily live action stuff, but anything that comic book content rather. I think it's essential for everything right now. It's just been such a bad run of negative things. Like this show is an amazing piece of art, dude. Like, and what sucks is the creator or the director got fired. Like, that really sucks.
What?
Like,
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No, dude, I never hear it. Listen, I'm a huge fan of all.
We follow roughly the same people, but yet like sometimes or a lot of times I'll talk about something, be like, what the hell? Where did this come from? I'm like,
John, the thing is like, yeah, we do, but you're the smart one, and so you actually read what people are doing. I'm like, oh, pictures, no, like
videos, I mean, like, there's videos,
and sometimes like, look, there's a great but of like wonderful content creators and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to watch that, and then I just don't. It's not because I don't care. I don't think it's great, and I just don't. But like I said, I am in my life. I don't have that niche of time to eke out and watch things, even though So I mean, I want to, so I'm missing it. So that's why I'm surprised and shocked when you're like, blah blah blah, got fired. I'm like, tell me about it. What's up?
Yeah. So no, I think the show is wonderful. I think it's better than the original X-Men show.
Sure.
If you would you agree?
Yeah. Yes. Listen.
Yeah.
Whoever's out there right now shaking their head saying it's not as good as the first one, just
not many, because it's still like 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. So not many people are out there. If you are, I literally believe you're a hater just to hate, and you never liked X-Men 97. I'm sorry, you never liked X-Men 92 or whatever in the first place. Yeah.
They just need to stop. They need to stop. There's a few things, but I want you to finish first. I want you to give your soliloquy of excellence to the show or whatever you think, and then I'll counter.
I think the animation is awesome, and they've slightly changed the action scenes. I think they changed the frames per second for the action scenes, so it could be a little more realistic, which is why it looks like it kind of changes style whenever something fast is happening or explosive is happening. I think the action is great. I think the storytelling is, X-Men soap opera at its finest. It's, it's kind of one of the things that set the X-Men comic books apart from the other stuff, even the other stuff in Marvel, is its soapiness, for lack of a better term. Like, it's drama in it and the stories within the characters, and it's not straying away from that at all, which is wonderful. I think it's brilliant how they're modifying the Claremont storylines and making them work with the roster that they have. I think it's super cool that they're doing that. And they're making it all very easily digestible. Dude, it's heavy, man. It's got that Magneto at the end of episode 2, that Magneto monologue, when he's got them all floating in space and he's about to drop them, like, so good. The Storm arc is good. Everybody's arc is amazing. For once, like, even
except
though Wolverine,
for one person, but continue.
Well, I was gonna say, even though Wolverine, Morph, even though Wolverine is in the mix, and he does have a nice little arc, it looks like, but he's not like, typically Wolverine seems like a show stealer, right? He's in and everybody, oh yeah, Wolverine's the best. Dude, Cyclops is kicking ass. Like, it's so cool to see him portrayed in this way, and to see him like as a great leader and using his powers in a creative way, I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Storm's a freaking goddess, like, unbelievable. Like, they're not shying away. But they're going with a great story arc that's going to probably one of Storm's more famous story arcs, the Life Death one.
Yeah.
They're setting that up with Forge. Like, dude.
Damn, you knew the name of the arc? Look at it. Fuck, man. Are you serious?
Life Death?
You knew it?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Well, that's part of what they're doing, and it's also in the episode. It's also the next episode. I think it's called Life Death.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're telling you, just go read the episode list. They're telling you what they're doing, but they're doing
Okay.
They're doing it in a way that makes sense with what they've already done. It's just fucking great, man. The fucking and then just real quick, and just like the Goblin Queen, that whole scene was one of my favorite scenes in the second Spider-Man movie, the Far From Home. Was Mysterio fucking with Spider-Man's head and him not knowing what's real. And Goblin Queen did that situation in this last episode, and I think it was awesome. Yeah. They did like homages to David Cronenberg, who's a horror director. Like, just great stuff, dude. It's just crazy. I can just keep talking, but you go ahead. I love it. I have nothing bad to say about it.
It was in okay. So let's just like for whoever has not seen X-Men '97 because you don't have Disney, that's fine. I will try and do what I can for you here. So I wanted to because I'm watching the original X-Men run right now. On season 3, like episode 8. You know, for some reason I thought I'd seen all these in my life and I haven't. So I'm watching them all now for the first time. You know. So since I'm doing that, I just popped right in and take a look. And I guess the main thing is like, so the very first thing you want is you want the intro to be good. You know, it has to be good. And so you start watching the intro and you're like, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's one intro that nobody, you know, like you.
Yeah,
Skip the intro. Skip the intro. That's one intro. I guarantee you, nobody will ever skip on any episode of this show. Nobody will ever skip that intro.
That and Daredevil and Netflix's intro. Boom, boom, boom. I love that one. But with all the blood coming down the building. So it comes on and like not only is it good, it's great. It is great because like all of a sudden you got that. There's this one scene you only saw it in the very first episode where a Rogue gets grabbed by one of the Sentinels and she flips it over to her back. Yeah. In the cartoon that was cool, the intro. Yeah. And the first intro, it was even cooler. Like show her like really clobbering that thing, and then the second, third when we get Magneto. But so then the show starts, and you know here's Cyclops doing his thing, and like dude's like he was almost wimpy. He's like his glasses get knocked off. He's like, oh please, oh please, oh please, and then he obliterates everything and blows it up. And you're like, all right, maybe Cyclops isn't going to be a wiener, you know? And he's not. Everybody's cool. Storm is awesome. She looks great. However, they're leaning a little too hard into this like her sing-songy bullshit. You know, like she doesn't do that in the books. She's not in the air going like.
What you mean sing-songy? Oh, I got you.
She's in the air going like, oh, calamitous nature of icicles in thee. You know, rain down shards of crystals in pee-pee. You know, on people. She's not like she doesn't like in the book. She doesn't sing a song before she does shit. And in here, they're really leaning hard into this goddess thing. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
No problem. Love her. Yeah. She's great. Gambit, no problem with him. Listen, and I'll make no bones about it. Gambit is one of my most despised characters in Marvel. I hate him. And I hate him more because he's from here and he sucks. We're from New Orleans, you guys. They got his accent right, though. His accent sounds way better than the original. They made him sound like he had brain damage. Now he actually just sounds like he's from the South. But this motherfucker's cooking beignets in the morning with a 6-pack ab. Stop it. But so Gambit's okay. Rogue bothers me a little bit. She bothers me a little bit. But I realize we're leaving off right where we were. And then you got the Hank McCoy. He's fine, but he's also sing-songy. It's whatever. He does that already. Who else we got? Oh, Jean Grey. She's pregnant. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't know whose kid it is. Is it Wolverine's or hers? You know, or Scott's? Who knows, right?
Wait. Jean. Wait, what?
Jean Grey's pregnant.
Have you seen episode 3 though?
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen them all. But I'm trying to you know.
Yeah. I got it.
So we don't know. But at first, I'm kind of like, okay, she's pregnant. But like, you know, the way that she keeps like goo eyeing. Let me tell you something. If my wife was giving you eyes the way Jean Grey gives Wolverine eyes, why I'd fucking pop you in the face and divorce her in a second.
Sure, absolutely.
But Cyclops is kind of like, well, that's just how it is. No, motherfucker, that's not how it is. Stop looking at my wife. Stop rubbing her face, you fuck. You know, like
no, for sure.
He's just like
back off, dude.
That's why I said I don't know whose kid it is. The way she acts. You know.
Nah.
Anyway, so
but I would get what you're saying. Like, there's still like, dude, there's a clear boundary line here. Like, just stay the fuck on your side. Like, this was going on before. Like, you just.
He's like, I love you, Gene. I'll always love you more than Playboy over there. You know, like, but so
now
Wolverine's
there's
fine.
But now there's 2 of them. Hey, you might get to have one.
Okay, so like, real quick. Character rundown, and then I come to the worst character in the Marvel universe. The absolute worst
character in the Marvel universe.
In the actual fucking Marvel universe, and it's not Morph.
It's not Morph.
No, I like Morph. I got him.
Bishop.
Nope.
Beast.
All right, talk about Beast. I'll say it for you. Ready? Full name. Here you go. Are you ready? Full name: Jubilation Lee. The stupidest character that Marvel has ever created. She was created because of Batman: The Dark Knight, because Marvel saw how Batman had Carrie as Robin, and then Marvel's like, "Whoa, that's a great thing. Let's have Wolverine and Carrie as Robin be his little sidekick. So let's make a little character, Jubilation Lee, literally dress like Robin all the time and be the snappy little sidekick." Jubilee has had the most. Even
give her cool powers.
Jubilee, she's Dazzler, but a Wiener Schnitzel version of Dazzler. Right. You know, like they made her so quick and so stupid. But here's the thing: Jubilee has been around for 30 fucking years now, man, if not more.
Yeah, she has.
And she has never, ever done anything. She's never had her own book. She never makes covers. They never know what to do with her because she's stupid. But she has to be tied to Wolverine to make Wolverine a human. Very rarely. But
she's like she's like a little fashion.
Mercado did a cool cover just because he was...
Yeah, they like her look. She's like a little, like, you know, like her glasses and her yellow coat and her, you know, bubblegum popping.
She doesn't change an outfit.
It's a thing.
She only wears one thing. She has to wear that dumb yellow coat so people know who she is. You know?
Right. No, I agree. I agree. I don't disagree with anything. I don't disagree with everything you're saying. I think as a character, she is what she is, and that's all that she is. You know, but yeah.
She, however, was cool in episode 1. She was cool in episode 1. She went dancing, almost like she went dancing to the fireworks and things like where she was recklessly showing off that she was a mutant at the show. I thought that was cool. I just wanted to say about Jubilee. The show literally has 2 characters that I absolutely hate, but I still love the show. It was great.
Yeah.
So let's John.
What you got?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Let's break down. Let's go back to episode 1. Highlights from episode 1. Like, what were your favorite moments in episode 1?
I mean, the favorite. I liked seeing Roberto da Costa. Man, a little hot Sunspot. I dig him in the show. I don't know what they're doing with him. I think that there's no complaining here. I'm very happy to have this. I'm very happy to have new stuff. I think that the artist who did Invincible came over into the art for X-Men, and it's great. It looks good,
doesn't it?
You know?
Doesn't it? I don't think. I know what you're saying. I don't think you really actually mean that they actually have the same artist. But yes, it is the same style, and it is awesome, man. It's very I told that to Crystal when we were watching the first one. I was like, it is Invincible like. Highlights for me for the episode 1 were Cyclops when he's like, all right, people, see you on the ground, and he just like darts down to the ground and laser
fucking cool. Dude.
I'm like, oh, how come nobody ever thought of that in the past? Like, he was always all of them. Like, here's your lead, right? Like in the comics, right? Here's your leader, and he's always getting carried around by some flying girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, just taking him from place to place. Like, dude, the dude's got such power coming from his face. Why can't he just like create something to catch, stop gravity when he's falling down? Like, and how come nobody ever thought of that until now? It's crazy.
You're 100% right. Here's the thing. 2 things about it. Cyclops, that's how little I respect Cyclops. Cyclops, you're right. Cyclops has been shit on since the Phoenix Saga. He's had nothing good to do. He's just villainized and like being like the fall guy for everything. He's like the guy who stands in front. He's like the what is it? The good cop. He always has to be the good cop for things like that. He's like stand up for things, and he just does bad things like with his wife and things like that. So I like this for him. He's still got his little brooding thing, but listen, Cyclops is a cool character in the books, but also in the comic books now, they just don't know what to do with him ever. Because he just has like he's got that Superman feel. Like right now he's fighting for his life because of Krakoa, but it's almost like people leave Cyclops alone because you don't know what to do with him.
Sure.
Like he's a leader, but he's always deferring to somebody else.
He's kind of like, in his nature too, he's kind of just one of those bland, honestly, I mean, I kind of hate to say it, but he is. Like, he's kind of one of those bland white male characters. Like, here's your leader, all-powerful white dude with not really many problems, and he's just kind of born to be the leader, and that's what he does. Like, in this, they, like, kind of give him more, he's obviously battling with the gene stuff, which is a great, like, him having the 2 to choose
What a
from.
Scumbag, though.
Well, it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Oh, you stop it. Hey, stop. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Sorry, listen.
Yeah.
Okay, you live with Crystal. You love Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal. Okay. Hey, guess what? You just had a baby with Crystal, did you not?
Yeah.
If that front door opens and Crystal is standing there,
Sure.
are you gonna fucking bail with Crystal with a kid because this Crystal says she's the real Crystal?
Well,
You literally are
that's the-
Cyclops right now. No.
Sure,
and Cyclops kind of like, well, I don't know if you're my real wife, and she's like, what the fuck? You don't know if I'm your real wife? I just woke up. I popped this fucking baby out of my person for you.
And that's like,
and
that's probably the greatest dynamic in the entire show. Is that not the? And I love that they're not. The Wolverine's love triangle is still there, but the better love triangle is Cyclops, Jean, and Madeline. Or Cyclops.
No.
Jean. Like
you're missing the best love triangle. You just that's how good this show is.
Morph, Wolverine, and Jubilee.
No. You're still missing the best one.
Which one?
You're missing the Danger Room, Rogue, and Magneto.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is funny. It's like, oh wow,
Holy
they're really
shit.
that was hilarious.
But just blasting the walls with semen in there, it's all it is. Like
that is the third ejaculate joke tonight.
It's a long week.
You've been watching too much Nickelodeon.
Oh, God.
Did you watch that?
No, but I know what it's about, man. That's my childhood.
Me too. Me too. It's terrible. Okay, so, all right. So, back that. Wait, we didn't finish episode 1. So, episode 1, that was great. Storm casting the tornadoes of ice and all the pieces of the Sentinels falling to the ground.
Yeah.
It was fucking cool as shit.
Uh-huh.
Anything else? What else? Wait, somebody else in the chat. What the chat? Brandon mentioned. Brandon mentioned that the outside of the building in episode 1 it said hate party instead of skate party because the lights were burned out. He picked that up. He said that was pretty cool. That he hasn't heard anybody else talk about. I didn't notice that either. It's pretty cool.
Something else that's cool with the art. Like you're looking at that, like something else is cool. It's why this show is also so very good and enjoyable to watch. Is it like they actually take place in the city. Show like in the first cartoon, it's always like in the forest or over like oceans because people don't want to draw cityscapes, and here we are in the city. Like it's awesome. We're actually fighting in the city. A cartoon, just because I'm watching it, the first one, every city is like a dreary, dark place because they don't have to do details. Or they're immediately over the forest. They're always fighting in the forest or the savage lands, So it's cool. It's cool that they're actually it almost brings back a little bit of the childhood, like fuck yeah, this is what it could have been when I was a kid if they had the technology. This is so cool,
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it, man. And it is great. I do suggest. I think I started eating a bowl of cereal for each time I watch it, just as like an honor. Did anybody read this?
What is that? X-Men 97?
Yeah. Did you read this?
No, I did. I didn't have an interest in it. What did you?
I did. I can say that. I don't know. This first issue, not necessary. I'm gonna give it one more issue and then I'm done. If it doesn't, it's just one of those things. Like,
it's not. It can't be a new story. It can't be like
it's not
a story of the story. So I mean, it's gonna be a story I knew from the comic books to the cartoon to the comic book.
Well, yeah, actually, they might adapt some of the 80s stuff and Claremont stuff in here, depending on, I don't know how long this thing's going for. But it's like, I mean, I thought like one of the most interesting thing about this one was like, they tell you why Bishop's there, but we just found that out in the last episode. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, that was like the only cool thing about that issue was like kind of answered some questions that were had. I don't know. It's not necessary. Dazzler's in it. Sinister's in it. It kind of shows the beginning of Sinister going after, everybody, and he gets the Nasty Boys, who is the stupidest name for a fucking group ever.
The Nasty Boys. Well, I think that the cartoon is basically, if you can't read books or whatever like that, you don't give a shit. That's on you. That's fine. But this is basically like taking all the storylines that are really kind of cool and relevant and just like start smashing them together. Because the storm with Forge, that doesn't happen for forever. It's all in this weird like.
Yeah, that's way further. That's sure. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Gambit wasn't there for Dark Phoenix at all. Or God. So I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, yeah. About it, not even close. I mean, it would take them. Yeah, it would take them a hell of a length of a show to tell it in the same sequential order as it was the comics. And you got all these comics, like if you can give it to them all, then easy bite size, seasons like that. I mean, just you got a lot of great storytelling to go through. Like if you can compile a little bit of it, do it. They're doing great. Not complaining. Gambit charging at Wolverine's claws was, dude. Is it just me or has that become?
Did his claws blow up? I don't know. Did they blow up afterwards?
No.
What do they do? Like he charges up a card and throws it 50 yards. What if he charges up his claws? Will they blow up?
No, he did that. Are you being joking?
Well, no, I know he charged up his claws, but what happened?
And then he bounced off of the blob. Morph transformed into the blob. He bounced off the blob and went and transferred, I guess, that energy into the neck of the Sentinel and decapitated his head.
Has that ever done before? I don't know. I mean, look, I don't know.
No.
I'm being funny. But I mean, like, usually things he charges blow up.
Sure,
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but not adamantium.
Adamantium.
And that's the
skin around it.
Sure, yeah.
We're talking like nerds, Johnny.
And that's like that's the cool thing when you have the X-Men and you have all these powers. Like something that like low-key the X-Men Claremont does, and a lot of the X-Men comics do, is they try to give you like a little science lesson in every book. There's like what if this happens and this happens, then, and it's kind of like got like some factual base to it. And so that's like the fun thing about this. It's almost becoming like a horror movie. Like horror movies are great because you want to see how creative the kills can be. Now what they're doing 100%. Is like, so now they're like, okay, how creatively can we get these people to use their powers with each other as teamwork, and just in a way that you've never seen before. And they're just fucking nailing it, dude. They are nailing it, and it's awesome. But what,
like Magneto.
Did he do something different than what he's normally done?
He's nailing the fuck out of Rogue right now. That's what he's doing.
That is a new power. Able to bang Rogue.
No. It's
what's your power? I can bang Rogue.
I can touch your wife.
Yeah.
No, I'm not Wolverine. I mean, I'm Magneto.
Right. Yeah.
No. So the thing is, if you want to know, his clone, Magneto's clone, Joseph, an extreme X-Men or whatever, he figured out how he could touch Rogue. He created some sort of magnetic cloud over them so they could bang it out. Pops. That's what this is all. And Magneto and Rogue did date back in the day as well, when she was in like the sisterhood or brotherhood of evil mutants or whatever like that for a while. You know, but it's so crazy how quick she came back to it though. And
I was gonna say in the Gambit charging up Wolverine's claws, it has become it is very early to tell, but it has become an iconic moment in X-Men history. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when that first trailer dropped, that teaser trailer, and that I mean that was clipped and replayed by so many people and talked about and loved by so many people. And even when you saw it fully in the episode in storyline, like it was just as amazing. And I just think it's become like one of those classic like images that people are
can you
talk about.
Homage a comic? I mean, can you homage a cartoon? Can we have like another cartoon that homages that moment? Or will there be a cover that could be done as a cover?
It could be, but I don't know. I think that would kind of ruin it.
I'm just saying.
Personally.
So that power right there. Listen, and I'm really digging deep here for you. I want you to know I'm a man of the people and I'm working. That feels like to me, when I saw him charge those claws, that felt like to me, and Kevin from 2015, I'm so sorry. But that Star Wars moment where like the Jedi's run into the room and they just go like, huh, and then the people like fly away. And you're thinking to yourself, the first three movies never did any of that. Like they just pulled like little lightsabers to them. But this, you know what I'm saying? Like they acquired a brand new force power in the older movies, essentially. So that's kind of like, like why didn't that ever happen before? Because they made it up now, I guess. I get it. But it's like, that's why it's exciting, is because it's a perceived new thing in an old method, like.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So, okay. So episode two. What you think?
Which one? That was the Magneto one, wasn't it?
Yes,
that was when he was like,
that was the full Magneto episode. Yeah,
the full Magneto. You're gonna get the full Magneto. Look at my little tight gloves that I'm wearing,
dude. He is so.
He's so damn sexy for an old man, isn't he?
He is
what,
like
he's in his 70s. My God, he's yoked.
And those tights or that leotard, whatever that he's wearing, and how he stands is very like this show. This show is very horny. Okay, the show is like
Wow.
hello.
See, that's why you pay attention to Into the Void.
The Madeline Pryor.
Nobody else is
her
saying
getting
this.
her getting up off her throne. I mean, come on. That was right.
I'm not the only one who noticed that.
No.
Has anybody already posted Basic Instinct on that one yet, or what?
You know what? If somebody can make a meme real quick and somehow do the comic fans looking, with Rogue's butt, Rogue's butt from the old 92, like is like the left out thought, and then the new thing is like Madeline Pryor getting out of the goblin her throne. That's like the new thing. That's like the new Rogue's butt from the 92 series. We lost Kev, or am I frozen? Who's frozen here? Is Kev frozen or am I frozen? But anyway, Magneto was amazing in that second episode. Oh,
I was froze.
you were
Damn
froze?
it.
Okay. So yeah, Magneto was amazing in the second episode. His monologue at the end was so cinematic, right?
Yeah. I'm glad we got past that one because it was good. But I'm glad we got past because it's always the one he has to bring up, and it was good, and it was done well, and the execution was handled well, and I thought that was good too. But again, like I said, I'm interested to see how close it follows the storyline. It looks like it's already about to blow itself apart and go to Genosha. It looks like it's already going to Genosha after one episode. We'll see, But so that was, how did number 2 end with him just like boohooing and taking off, didn't it? How did it end?
No, it ended with Storm losing her powers and then going off.
Oh, and she was like flopping like a fish on the ground.
Yeah, that was rough, man. That was and it's just smart storytelling as well to the first episode, the first 2 episodes, to show how awesome she is, to just all take it away from her, and by the end of that episode they did that well.
Well, she did that smoking gun thing that Fingers and Toes can remind me of, that gun that you put in the first scene, the very first episode. She's like, oh, these powers of a god, sometimes they're too much. Okay, well, here, we'll take them from you. And then she flops like a fish on the ground,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But we all know what's going to happen, man. She's going to go to the motherfucking Morlocks. Holla. Little Mr. Sinister action there.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, okay, so you being a big Sinister, let's skip right to 3, right? You being a big Sinister fan, what's your thoughts on Nate?
They made him, they put him back in the 97 version, I guess. It's fine. They should. With him, the way he's evolved it's so funny looking at his early things, because he's nothing like his early stuff at all. Like now, he's nowhere like how he was when he first started. Look, Sinister's a badass. They've got the idea where he's just playing with people, right? I think that I don't know why she's like, call me Madeline Pryor at the end of the episode so quickly. And then she was like, they're friends or something like that at the end. But I guess Chekhov's gun. Thank you. I'll bring it up again next week. But I think he's good. I'm glad that they also didn't make his voice British in this one as well, because that would have been annoying as fuck. But he looks cool, man. I really hope that Sinister. I think Sinister's one of the penultimate like villains in Marvel. Period. And I just think that he's like clowned on. I don't think that he's being used enough anywhere in Marvel. The way he can be. I mean, that's just me. Crying.
And maybe, I mean, it sounds like maybe they'll add something new to this storyline of him here, and like maybe utilize him in a better way. If they're doing it with other characters,
can I tell you?
Other than Jubilee,
you're a movie buff. I know this. Okay, I know, and then probably Into the Void. You guys are all movie buffs as well. No Country for Old Men. You know it, right? Okay. That fucking scene where Javier Bardem is standing there at the counter chewing peanuts and talking to that guy. It's so uncomfortable. It's such an uncomfortable scene, and I love it. Like when I watch it, I mean, like, I'm like people in the room are like, shh, be quiet. They're like, you just had this to repeat. You're watching it again. I'm like, I know. This is great. Watch this. Could you imagine Javier Bardem as fucking Mr. Sinister? Yes. He's being rumored as the person that could play him. And I said that and my nipples immediately got hard. I was just like,
well, he was rumored for Galactus.
That was on my list.
Nice. He was also. I think he was also rumored for Galactus too.
You know who shouldn't be Mr. Sinister? John Hamm. I don't think. I feel like the actor John Hamm's trying to be in the Marvel universe so hard.
No.
He's trying. Didn't he want to be like Silver Surfer or something like that? You know, like.
Yeah, no, he should definitely. I'm trying.
He wanted to be Doctor Doom. He wanted to be Doctor Doom.
You know who should be Mr. Sinister?
Give me an unknown person. I can't be a liar.
Well, I mean, I don't know an unknown person. All I know is people I know. Jared Leto.
Okay,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Who would be a good
poor
Mr.
guy?
Sinister?
Not really. I'm open, but currently in the lead in the clubhouse would be Javier. But I could just see him. I could see him as Mr. Sinister. You know, like it would be so good. But I mean, like Sinister's evolved so much from back then.
I feel like it does need to be a British guy.
Well, and he will definitely be British now because everything being the way it is. You know, what did I was watching Avatar. I don't know if you're a fan or anything like that, but I was watching the new Avatar on Netflix. It's pretty good. But I knew they were really like strongly going to make sure that it was like consistently with the right type of people doing the acting and things like that. You know. So
You're talking about the new one?
Yep.
It was
It was fine. Okay, so you watched it. Okay, but have you watched the entire cartoon thing at all, or what of Avatar?
Wait, you're talking about Avatar like The Last Airbender?
Yes.
No, I think you're talking about James Cameron Avatar. No, I've never seen The Last Airbender.
You should, man. What?
Yeah.
You could be a grown man and watch that cartoon. It's such a good cartoon too. Avatar's
Dude,
great.
Right now, cartoons are some of the best things to be released in the past 2 years is Across the Spider-Verse and X-Men '97, in my opinion.
I look.
What else about the rest of that episode 3? Because we never
episode 3. How did it end? What was the ending of it?
Well,
walking backwards here.
So
Look at me.
the bulk of it was the Goblin Queen, wreaking like just unleashing all hell, which was fucking cool, man. Like, her the first thing I thought of was like, I'm getting some serious Disney evil queen vibes, which was great. Like, which makes sense because ultimately Disney is behind it, but like it fits there. And I was like, will we ever see a Madeline Pryor walking the grounds at like Avengers Campus? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like it was kind of interesting.
She's kind of like a John Wick thing, like, John Wick just wanted like his dog not to die and he wanted revenge. Madeline Pryor honestly just wanted her baby and to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like her entire thing was like, okay, cool. Like, but since people wouldn't leave, literally she was a scorned woman and she went scorched earth all over. If you go back, one of my favorite arcs of all fucking time in Marvel was the Inferno, like I was a kid and that's why I like it so much because it happened right when I was a kid. Yeah. But she literally went scorched earth. She backtracked from what she was supposed to be, went down into hell, limbo, took over limbo, came back and just torched the X-Men completely, and went head to head with Jean Grey eventually, and that was awesome. And then Cyclops, his famous like he blew Mr. Sinister up, which is kind of a cool art scene. I think Walter Simonson drew it, but he just fucking holy held his eyes where he pulls his visor off and goes like, and blew Mr. Sinister up. But Madeline Pryor is Goblin Queen. Right now, she's a good guy in New York, but. Yeah, dude, she was a really good mix of like scary and like I don't want to say sexy, but that's definitely a part that like she used that as a weapon against people.
Right.
But not using it as a weapon. Like, let me like try and make sense of this. She looked the way she is, she acted the way she is, but she never once evoked like I'm using these curves and who I am to seduce power from you. She just was powerful. I'm talking about in the comic books and things like that. And then her great play, her great foil Havoc. She couldn't have Scott Summers, so she went after I can't remember his fucking real name. Havoc. Alex. Yeah. Alex. What American name? Scott and Alex Summers.
I know, right?
But so she went after him and made him wear a loincloth. So it was So the Goblin Queen she's a great character, always has been. They've kind of like neutered her recently, but and it looks like they neutered her here. It looked like she had like an episode and she's gone. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if she's. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess because Cable, Cable is now going to.
Oh wow! I looked away, looked back, and just like.
Yeah, Cable's going with Bishop, and so in that sense, they could just.
Are you going to be excited when he just goes body slide? Wait, you cut out. Send who on their way?
When they Madeline, they can just now that Cable is now gone, she doesn't need to be really in the picture anymore. I mean, like I guess they should have her in the picture, but I'm saying there's nothing other than Scott, her love for Scott, really tying her to the show. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do with her, because I mean they can't get rid of her. She's got way too much. I don't know. She's not just gonna leave Scott. Right?
No, I mean, so this is the whole mishmashy of things going on.
Yeah,
I mean, they're playing on the fact that like the Jean Grey was like the Phoenix from before, So I mean, look, wrapping it up with that.
I want to get your theory on this. When was she switched?
Okay, see, but you're fucking with me a little bit, because like I'm a reader. I know in theory what's supposed to have happened.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Switched.
Well, you've read the Dark Phoenix, man. You know what's going on.
No. But I'm saying like in the show, in the animation, like in the show, like when was she? When do you think she was switched?
Oh, it's funny you say that, because I'm right there in the show. Like they just show somebody crawling out of the water. That's all they do. They show the whole Phoenix thing. They're really naming.
Will that be answered in this? When she was switched, that could be the only that could be this thing's biggest ticket to selling issues, is if they will allude to they're going to answer that question. I think. Other than that, this wasn't that great.
I just feel like that is like the Temu version of their other books. You know what I'm saying? I feel like what can that actually show? Again, I mean, if you like the covers, and the cover's amazing, fine. But what can that story actually show? It's just going to be a compressed version or condensed version or distilled version of like all the other things. It can't. Look, I don't want to say you wasted your money. If you enjoy the book, enjoy the book. That's great.
Oh no.
But
I had a gift card.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like if you, I don't ever want to like stand outside the comic book shop and like have people walk out, look at the books, and go, "That's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid." I mean, I've done it a million times where I've watched shitty things, but.
Sure, of course.
I mean, if it's answered, again, it's just going to be like the Titanic. You know how it ends. Like, even if they answer it in a weird way, it'll never be like the way it really is. Like it's just going to be a bastardized version of it. But it's not going to be like a book for a movie version. It's going to be
but they brought up that great question when Jean and Madeline were kind of going at it of like, a person is their memories. Like your memories kind of make up what you are. So. And when you look at Scott and Jean's relationship, their history together makes up their relationship. So if you were to
Scott didn't care though. Scott didn't care. He's like, I don't know if you're my wife, and she's like, bitch, I fucking popped out a baby for you. I don't know.
So, but let's say
walk through the door.
But I think that's the interesting thing is if you can kind of show that Jean was initially the ones that he started the relationship with, but if Madeline was put into place at a point to where he's actually spent more of his life with her than the initial Jean, well, then that's an even more interesting predicament for Scott to be in. Like Madeline Pryor is the one who you actually spend more time with. That's more Jean than the real Jean who you thought it was. I think it's kind of interesting.
Well, the real Madeline Pryor story, the real one that actually is real and you can't retcon it or like that is it like, so Jean Grey died, Scott left, and he went up to Canada. And he goes and flies planes, and he came across, Madeline Pryor, who was a pilot, and they piloted and fell in love. And he always thought it was uncanny how she looked like Jean Grey, but he loved her anyway. And then they got married and had a kid. And then X Factor 1 started because Jean Grey came out of a rock in the middle of the Hudson Bay or in New York. She came out of the rock, and she was like, "Oh, Scott, it's me." She had no memories, by the way. She had no memories of anything other than when she was killed in the spaceship, so but fucking Scott immediately bailed on his wife and his kids. This is where Scott gets he gets that bad rap forever in the comic books, and it literally has led him to this point now, because you just think he's a terrible, shitty dad, and like there's something inside of all of us that just goes like, God, Cyclops is he's just a bitch. He left his wife and kids for another woman.
Well, what about the end of the episode where he's like, I can't abandon my son, and then he walks out the door.
Yeah.
when the kid's hooked up to like a freaking
so maybe he is the old Cyclops. I don't know. I mean, just because he blasts his way to the ground, which is cool as hell. I mean, like maybe he actually is the shitty guy we all thought he was. It brings back those warm and fuzzy "I hate you" Cyclops memories. Yeah. It's like you're driving the fast car and you look at me like, oh, the fuzzy dice of shitty Cyclops. You're like, it's not really a cool car. It's
the one who was listening to NSYNC and the X-Men.
Yes, dude. He would have frosted tips in the 90s too. Right. He would be that guy with frosted tips and Oakleys. Like that's so.
Yep. So, well, that's a wrap on our thoughts on X-Men 97. But it's great. It's wonderful. Like you said, I'm glad that we have it. We deserve it.
Absolutely.
I think we deserve it, and it's great.
You deserve it.
Now, you deserve it. You know what I deserve? I deserve.
Are you gonna segue that way? Are you gonna really? I feel like you're about to segue. You know what?
I deserve.
Do you think you deserve this?
I deserve this.
Why would you deserve that? I don't think any of us.
Giant size
that.
X-Men 9.9.
Not real. It's not real.
It's not real. Okay. All right. So let's unpack this very slowly. This was when I heard of the 9.9 pre-screen. I wasn't a naysayer at first. I was like, okay, look, they want to do a 9.9 pre-screen. Like, throw in your books, take your best shot. You might waste a lot of money in rejects. But I was like, it doesn't mean that it's going to have a negative effect yet. It's all going to be on how they handle this. And this is kind of my worst fear coming true. Like,
oh, okay. I didn't see this. Let's go.
Oh, no, this is terrible time. It's perfect timing for them, right? Like, they got this 9.9 pre-screen, right? X-Men 97 is blowing up. X-Men is just completely trending right now. Everybody's on an X-Men high. Boom. The first ever 9.9 giant size X-Men #1. The timing of it looks suspicious. And like, I know some of the books, there's some allowable defects and things like that. A square bound book from the 70s. Man.
Is it square bound?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I've never seen the real one. I've seen they have one of the LCS, but I've never really looked at it,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Square bound book from the 70s, 9.9s are pretty much free from most of your manufacturer defects, your typical ones, and square bounds have a ton.
You need to tell them how you get a
9.9. So according to CGC, let's see. So
who we're not sending
CGC,
our books to right now.
Well, we can unpack that later or another day. But according to CGC, a 9.9 is basically going to have pretty much no imperfections, almost flawless copies. I'm trying to think of the verbs that they use. It's like very, very minor, or not even negligible, just very minor defects. There's no handling defects, right? So a handling defect is a spine tick, a crease, a blunted corner. You can't have any of that. And you're allowed very minor manufacturing defects. So like a manufacturing defect would be something like a bindery tear. So that's at the top and the bottom of the spine, right? Where there's a natural splitting of the book by the number of pages that are sandwiched together. Those are manufacturing defects. A 10.0 is when you surpass all that. It's almost like an anomaly was printed on the press and it was floated over to the desk of CGC, and then boom, there's your 10.0. Almost, none to be had. But yeah, a 9.9 is damn near that. But a square bound book from 1975 is not going to produce that. Like, in that sense.
And yet here we are.
Johnny. And yet here we are. it doesn't look good. I think they should not have done this to such a big book. It doesn't feel right. You know, it doesn't feel right. And it's all going to be on how they treat this 9.9 with, you know, how they're going to flood the market with certain, you know, of course you can have a lot of new modern stuff that's going to start to service the market. But once you start throwing in like major grails, like a giant size X-Men #1, all of a sudden now there's 9.9. It creates a bad look. And I think CGC is just in this habit now of one step forward, two steps back. Like they're just constantly like.
So you really feel this? You feel like this is a step backward now, right?
Absolutely. This 9.9.
This is not a thing we could all be celebrating, correct? Because like, why can't we celebrate? And look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying, but why isn't it? Why wouldn't the community be like, hooray? There's somebody out there has like this book that's unattainable. It's like, oh, this 9.9. But I mean, like again, I'm with you because like I look at the books that I've submitted, and I'm like, dude, this book's perfect, and it comes back as a 9.8. How did this book, that's 30-something years old, 40 years old almost, become a 9.9? That's incredible. It means no yellowing, no tearing. This person could have never read the book.
Yeah, and it's even beyond that. It's remember not even yellowing, tearing. Those are handling defects. This has to surpass even standard printing defects, which on square bound books, the way that those books are assembled is that there's a staple that's not on the side but on the very front left of the spine that sit right underneath that cover. So when that cover closes, there's always these two staple prongs that's pushing forward through your front cover.
That's true.
And after you do I have it? Okay.
Here's my GSX1. It's only an 8.8.
Yeah. but those two books are actually assembled the same way. This was in 74. GSX1's in 75. But so if you look
square bound?
This is square bound. If you look above the S, you see the S? You see how the top of the S has like color rub? It's like missing some red. And then a little bit above that, there's some darkness. That's where that staple is behind the cover of this book here. This is like on almost every single book, a square bound book from the 70s. So by a general 9.9 standard, somehow your square bound book should have surpassed this defect that is on most square bound books. And it's on this book. There's actually photos of the GSX1 9.9, and it's got that defect on it.
So it can't be a 9.9 then, right?
You can't. So really, it shouldn't be a 9. And then it's also got like the square. Remember, square bound, but a perfectly square bound book. And there are some, like for instance, I think it's Thor Annual 18 is a square bound book, but the way it's assembled, it's just the perfect amount of pages, and it's actually a perfect square. Some of the square bound books, depending on how they're assembled, that glue on the spine can melt, and like the top half will be slightly rounded, and then it might get square. Like this GSX1 9.9 has like a rounded edge. It's not a 9.9 in a lot of people's eyes, and it's bad timing. It looks bad. It feels bad, and it's going to be interesting to see what it's going to do to the market. Some person on Instagram was like, "Do you think it's going to break $1 million?" I don't think it's going to break $1 million.
It should not break $1 million.
No,
it should not. I mean, hey, look, again, I don't want to take it from the guy selling it, but I mean, hey, or lady, but I mean, what does this even mean? This is like Mrs. Make Believe. I mean, what does it change? I mean, like, if there's only one, that guy's not going to get rid of it. And if he does get rid of it, he makes the price. You can't be CGC saying like, well, this can only be this much money. It's whatever the guy charges and somebody pays. It's like being a free agent in sports. I want this much money.
It's going to auction.
Then it's going to go for too much money. It may break $1 million just because you can have FOMO and a bunch of people who are idiots. I'm sorry if one of the idiots are here.
No, so I think and we can let's see if we can look this up real quick. Let's go to the census.
What is the most expensive GSX that's been sold? It probably won't even be a 9.8. How many are there really?
There's like 200 something 9.8s, I think.
Really?
And I think the most expensive one that sold was for like 26,000.
Okay, 26,000.
I think. we'll look it up. Chat. I want to hear what chat thinks. What do y'all think about this this giant size 9.9? Okay.
300 says it's like the shingles vaccine commercial. That's not a 9.9. CGC doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which way they're going on this. Like, I can't like. It's like one of those things. Like, put me on the executive board of CGC. I can help them out. Bring me down to Jacksonville or Sarasota. I'll fix them.
So you want to do a prediction on this, in like how we do for movies? Okay. I think. So we can see here, you got 239 9.8s on the census. The highest sold was $23,000. Actually, hold on. That's the most recent high sale, I think. In 2021, it might have broken 100K. We'll see. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Oh, well, COVID. Yeah, the COVID numbers.
Yeah, the COVID numbers, which are.
I really want to like. I really. You know what's funny is like even though all these prices have dropped, I still can't get slabs of books that I want for a cheap price, or books. People are indignant.
Like, what are you looking for?
I don't know, just stuff. I mean, like just like little. Again, like I said, I mean, not recently, but I sit on the sofa sometimes drinking whiskey, and I'm kind of like, oh, that's a cool book, or I read a cool book, and I'm like, oh, I want this book, and then I'm like, God damn it, man, you know, like, oh,
yeah.
Turns out it's a key of some sort because they're all keys, you know.
Hey, they are. In some form or fashion. I don't know what's going on.
This is the first X-Men 145.
That's funny. Let's see. Zim says, sounds like a band-aid on the real problem that CGC is having. Yeah, will this take away credit from CGC? You know, I mean, like, I think it kind of already is. It just looks like a way to, I think it looks like a way to maybe distract and, one, to try to make money because, and again, I don't fault them for not having a 9.9. If anything, the 9.9 shouldn't have been invented in the first place when the grading scales were created. It should have been a 9.8, which is extremely hard, and then a 10.0, which is unobtainable, damn near. Instead, you've created this weird little hiccup where you've got two pretty much damn near unobtainable items. And it's just weird now that they've all of a sudden, started to implement it. But, that just really puts a big old spin on the market. Like, you've got how many people now are going to crack out books and send them back because they think it's going to be a 9.9. And that's what they want. They want to make money by doing that. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. We got the big numbers here. So 48,000 it sold for in 2022.
$48,000.
60,000 is sold for it. That's probably $72,000.
$72,000.
Yeah, 72,000. And dude,
hey,
this might even look better than that damn 9.9. But like, and that just goes to kind of show you like.
So 9.9 would be $100,000. It would have to be $100,000, would it not?
But dude, look at this.
Not 1 million.
So in 2020, the high was 14,000. In 2020, and then it shot up to 72,000 a year later. That's crazy.
What changed? What changed? Did
the world, the economy?
But really, what changed? All of a sudden, I didn't COVID, but people had disposed of them. But damn,
yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, a lot of people entered the hobby that honestly probably didn't know what they were doing and caused a lot of false positives on a lot of these big books. And it just snowballed and got out of hand. You have enough people with expendable income combined with investors who don't really know the comic game getting into it. And it's a cauldron of just a bunch of fuckery that just overflowed and got out of hand. And now, it's still, even after the high, 26,000, that's still 10,000 above its all-time high 2 years ago. So it's on a good trajectory, And now
they're using Berserker #1 to warm people's houses in Baltimore and the fireplace,
Right.
Where's that? Well, I guess I gotta take my Berserker 1 out of the vault now. Mm-hmm. Finally, it turns out my Beanie Babies aren't gonna go for a lot of money.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think, and again, I don't think that a 9.9 pre-screen is a bad idea. but it depends on what comes out of it. If the numbers coming out of it are ridiculous, like all of a sudden now we have a GSX-1, that seems fishy. But the idea in itself is not a bad idea, because there are books that warrant it. Like if you come straight from the press, like did you see the video of the guy grading? He shows you how to grade a 9.9 from CGC. Did you see that video?
No, come on, you're just making fun of me now. If I didn't see these other videos, when would I have seen that one?
It was all over. It was all over Instagram. I appreciate that. It was all over Instagram. But the guy basically went through how he grades a 9.9, and he's getting books straight from the manufacturer. And he basically starts singling them out he goes all the way down the spine, and he can immediately cancel 20 books or so, put them off the side. Nope, that's not going to make it. And I think out of I forget how many books he had, but he only had one 9.9 out of that. And it's not reasonable. I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that can be done. But for it to happen this soon is really fishy, and if it happened to GSX-1 is very fishy, and it's just bad. Don't like it.
And I mean, what are we gonna do about it? Nothing. I'm not gonna buy that book. I mean, I hope the guy makes $1 million at auction. I hope whatever, man. Like, again, we all know that people buying comics helps the market and helps the hobby out for sure. You always just want it to be like a noble way of doing it, but this obviously probably won't be. It'll sell, but I mean, that'd be interesting
for what
see how it sells for. I mean, it has to be 100,000. It can't, but it's at auction. Yeah. What does that mean? Is going to like Sotheby's or something like that?
No, Comic Connect. It's gonna be on Comic Connect, which is not like Heritage, but it's a pretty big auction house.
Can we watch it live?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it gonna be like the fast talking guy? It's gonna be like that, or
maybe.
I want it to be like that. It should be like that, you know? Like
he's dressed up as Colossus.
Yes, we could it could be like it should be like a cosplay event, shouldn't it? I mean, that'd be something to celebrate, you know. People would, but no, it's gonna be a bunch of people in a room, or is it online, or it has to be live, doesn't it?
I've never watched a Comic Connect auction, so I don't know. In the chat, let me know if y'all watch Comic Connect auction.
John, I'll bring over some beer. Let's rent it. It's gotta be like a pay-per-view event.
We got. You can find this auction at your local Redbox.
Dude, that'd be too late. I want to see it live. You know, like
sure, yeah. Oh wait, and then we're gonna give me a number. What do you think it's gonna sell for?
Fuck, man. Okay, all right. So the highest one was $76,000, right?
But that's irrelevant because that was during the boom. The most.
I know. But if you but here's what happens. Like when you're doing math in your head, you're looking at the highest sold book be $76,000, right? And that's a 9.8, and that's the high. So the person who owns the book is not going to be like, I want to settle for less. He's going to go higher than 76,000, wouldn't you? Like just because?
Well, I think
if that book sold for less, it'd be dumb.
Yeah, I think that. So I think there's a few things fueling it. Obviously, it's a 9.9, but not only that, it's the first 9.9. You know what I'm saying? Like if 9.9 becomes a thing. It is something special about it being the first ever 9.9. Dark Claw says 425,000. I don't think you're too far off. I don't think you're too far off on that. So you have the fact that it's the first, but then you also have the fact that people are going to realize and be cautious of how many more is going to come out after this.
When does this go up for auction?
I think it's next month.
When does this happen?
Next month.
Okay.
425,000.
I already spoke, so I have to. I have to say, I said now I'm upset with myself because Dark Claw said that obscene number. I said 130.
That's not obscene. That is not obscene.
Hey man, what?
That is.
Look, you're buying drinks from here to the end of time. If that's not obscene to you.
That is not obscene. That's not. It's obscene to me, but it's not. It's not unreasonable. Like that's probably.
It is unreasonable. That's stupid. You guys might be right, but if that's the case, that's. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you or Albert are wrong at all. I'm saying is like it's stupid to jump that high. You know, that's like Patrick Mahomes $500 million for his contract. It's dumb.
You know what? Like, watch this happen. Like, okay, so like Claus said, right? Nostalgia is super high right now. If you combine the right combination of money, rich person that has extreme nostalgia They will go at no end to buy this book. Recently, they just tweeted out after X-Men 97 aired, LeBron James was like, Disney Plus was raving about X-Men 97 and how he loved it as a kid. If LeBron James gets in on this auction, it's going to be crazy. It's reasonable to think that he's got X-Men fever. And he's like, oh, shoot, they're selling the comic book. This is the first one. Oh, and he's got all the money in the world. LeBron James, that's my prediction. LeBron James is going to buy the GSX 1 9.9.
You went fucking
at $600,000. Write it down.
No problem.
Now,
Johnny G.
If that comes true,
lost his mind. LBJ is going to, before flops, he will buy the book for $600,000.
If that comes true,
okay.
My new nickname is the Oracle.
Oh God! But then I'll have to shatter your legs.
I am gonna keep the 600. I'll keep the 600,000 mark.
Y'all are all crazy.
But my extra credit is going to be bought by LeBron.
Okay,
we'll see.
You're gonna say LBJ, but
will he like brag about it? Is he gonna put it on a chain and wear it out in the court? You know, like.
No,
like the people who wear like those Pokemon cards and gold chains. I would.
No, I think
if I had enough money to spend $425 on a book, he's got to brag about it.
Look, he was in Space Jam, right? Probably because he watched the MJ Space Jam when he was a kid.
Do you think he has a pair of? Do you think that LeBron James has a pair of Michael Jordan's jock? Because he's a big fan. Would he collect that? You know, like
what?
he was in the Space Jam because he's a big Michael Jordan fan. You know,
yeah.
Have you ever seen Space Jam 1 or 2?
Yeah,
I've seen neither. I didn't care.
Oh, they were great. Space Jam was great.
Nope.
The first Space Jam was wonderful.
And I've never seen Sandlot.
You've never seen The Sandlot?
Yeah.
Bill Gates for $300.
Zim Man is in. See, Johnny, you started this ridiculous.
I don't think Bill Gates gives a
saying
shit
celebrities is going to buy, but he could buy it. You know?
Yeah, that's LBJ won't drop that much on a comic book. I disagree. I think LBJ has got a huge nerdy side to him, actually.
You have to check his DMs for that. 325. Okay, 325. Who else we got in here? I got fingers and toes. We just need those.
You can give your number, but then also tie into, will there be a celebrity at play? Or a certain.
But how would we know? How would we know if there's a celebrity at play?
Oh, dude, if a celebrity buys it, it'll make the news. They'll say it for sure. Oh yeah. If LeBron James buys GSX1, that will 100% be public information. I promise.
Oh God, you scared the hell out of me. Hold on. What's up? Hey, how's it going?
That was the point.
Hey, everybody, breathe. Hey. All right. Hey, I got like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, Johnny. 10. We're on the clock.
You got it. Yeah.
So my question for you, like, so you read this somewhere about LBJ, and you were like, hey.
No, LBJ tweeted out how much he used to love the X-Men show when he was a kid, and he was raving about it on Twitter. Todd McFarlane.
I'm writing you in. Todd McFarlane. Okay. I like it. Nick Cage. No. Now we're getting into my area. This is good. Nick Cage sells his T-Rex skull. Okay. Yeah,
man.
268. Okay, now
you want to see something crazy? Watch. What if that happens? Like, what exactly F&T just said? Nick Cage sells his T-Rex skull and buys it. He trades it. Like, you can't write. There's something like that's one of the stories. Like, yeah, he trades a T. In news today, Nicolas Cage trades a T-Rex skull for the first ever 9.9 Giant says X-Men #1.
And buries it on his island somewhere. Man,
like a dog,
okay,
like a dog with his new favorite bone goes and buries it on his island somewhere.
How do we see this live? How do we watch this auction? This seems like something that would be broadcast. It just doesn't it? Yeah. Is this a world that I don't know about yet? I want to know about.
Yeah, it's called Heaven, where crazy shit like that happens.
Not heaven for me. Listen, I would have loved to have been there when that Banksy portrait shredded itself. But if I had been there, I mean, I was one of the suits that watched it. That Banksy portrait, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
See, Johnny, this is more my world. You know, the graffiti
Okay,
artist
cool.
from
I know
England. His
Banksy.
name is Banksy. Okay,
Yeah.
so Banksy had a painting, girl with a balloon.
Yeah.
It went up for auction. It was gotten by ill-gotten gains, and it went up for auction. And as soon as it was sold, it's in a picture frame. As soon as the gavel went down and was sold, the picture frame started to move, and the picture came out of the frame, and it was being shredded at the bottom. It came out completely shredded.
What?
It was completely shredded. He made a frame and put it in the frame as soon as when it was sold. Like, he's basically saying, like, is art really art? You know, like that. It shredded itself. It shredded
Okay.
itself. It came out like shredded pieces of paper at the bottom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And all you see is just a bunch of white people in their suits turning, going, "Oh," you know, like.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, if I was a person that bought that, if I had any sense of humor in this world, I would have just been like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
I would have taken that portrait and put it right on my wall with the shredded picture hanging out at the bottom, because that's cool as shit. You know, that's the money that's buying GSX-1.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And I know, like, it is true that nostalgia is high. I don't think that's going to affect really. I don't know if that's going to affect the price of how high somebody's going to go, but I think that nostalgia can get new people into the game of buying that comic book. Is kind of, you know, like LeBron, like a LBJ. You know, like, I don't think like, oh, X-Men's so hot right now, I'm going to pay more for this book right now. But I think certain people will now enter that auction that have expendable money that maybe have not done it before. Or bought
Of course, Tim. Of course, Tim. Yes, of course. Please. Like, what do you have? Give us your celebrity. I've got the names written down. We're good.
Nick Cage is my favorite. That's I love his but Nick Cage trading a T-Rex skull for a GSX 199 is I'm gonna be angry if that doesn't happen.
I feel like the Rage Poncho Award was awarded to Two Fingers and Toes for a fucking T-Rex skull.
Wow.
So, but when you get that book, if you buy that book for $400,000 or $600,000, what you think? Like, what do you do with the book then? I mean, like, what do you? Again, John. Whenever you come to my house, have we like just looked at my books and I'm like some sort of like pauper? I'm kind of like, look at my books, John. Look at my books. It's not like baseball cards. Back in the day, you're kind of like, look, I got the Smart McGuire rookie card. You know, it's like we don't do that with books. So it's like when you had that GSX-1 and you spend like a $500,000 on it, what do you then do with it? And I know you're going to say, like, you put it on your wall, you look at it because you enjoy it. But I feel like that's something that you would walk around with and be known as the guy who has a GSX-1. You know, something, right?
No, I mean, it's not like it's a big book, but all in all, that's actually not that monumental of a thing. Like, it's a giant grail, and it's an insane, unreasonable grade for that grail. But there are way bigger books, way more scarce books than that you know, that people could flaunt for clout if they wanted.
But it's always been one of the sexy ones. It's always been one of the big grails. You know,
this is true. I agree with that. It is a sexy key.
It has to be the Marvel Grail, like one of the top Marvel Grails.
Yeah,
it just has to be. You know, like what is another Marvel Grail out there? Spiderman. You know, Amazing Fantasies. Yeah, but I mean, like, isn't it stupid that the Hulk 181 is not even for the fucking the Hulk? All right, Zimman said Kevin Smith for same price. Okay, I got you.
Ooh.
You're in. $325. Hey,
not a bad.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know if Kevin Smith values grading to that extent. I think I like where your head's at. Like, he's definitely a huge comic book fan, but he almost might be too much of a comic book fan, not a collector. You know what I'm saying? Well,
we all know now that Kevin Smith is Zimman, and Kevin Smith / Zimman and just called his own shot, and he's going to make sure he wins. Speaking, how very clerks of him. You know, he's like, I bet you I get that. I bet you I get that book first.
Look, Claw's got it. Claw's got a GSX-1.
He's got one. He's got one. You should. Do you bring it to shows? Why don't you flaunt that fucker? You should. You better bring that to the next show we go to. I want to see it. I want to look at it. I want to like praise you because you have it. Yes. Actually, put it on a chain on your leg, but put it close, your wall. You know,
graded 11.
What?
Graded 11. You make your own custom CGC case, graded an 11.
Yeah. 11. Ours is grades higher. You know,
Yeah.
there's still right now. There has to be a company right now hard at work being the next company to grade. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just. It's got to be right. You know.
Yeah, I think there's multiple, but it's dude to get a to be and get. But here's the thing: I think there's. Oh, we didn't even talk about the CGC, and we can't open this can of worms this late in the game. But we didn't even talk about the CGC now. Doing signature verification. It's the stake in the heart for CBCS. That's the only thing that they had. Though, if you put those labels next to each other, that CBCS label is better than that CGC label. It is.
But
I've seen enough. I've seen enough to make. It does not have the cash. So, to answer your question, when is there going to be a company that's going to overthrow them? It is such a large undertaking. That is not even the job of the company. It's the job of the people buying the product, right? It's not like it's not going to be up to a company. Like there's companies out there, but it's going to take the market swing and the faith of the people buying. Like it's going to take a community to come together and say, "Hey, look, we're going to start spending some major bucks on some graded non-CGC books, and once the market turns, that will have enough momentum to get things rolling." But it's just gonna be hard, man. CBCS is right now the only close thing that could do it, and they're still way behind. Even as
aren't they Beckett though?
Yeah,
aren't they? Is it?
But what does that mean?
It means they've fucking been grading things longer than anybody else. You know, it's just they had an ugly ass label. And people picked A, the candy red Corvette, over B, the white Corvette. That's all they did. Mm-hmm. And CBCS verifies signatures, don't they? And that's what you're about to say about CGC verifying.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're poo-pooing them honestly because of a fucking ugly label. And I get it. I did the same thing. I still do the same thing. But that's all we're doing here. And since more people spent money here,
but it's not.
They can't say the money's
just that. It's not just that But remember, CGC got a jump on the market because CGC started grading first. CBCS, yes, is Beckett, but CBCS wasn't grading comic books before CGC. CGC was first to grade comic books, so the market was built around them, and it stuck with them. CGC's label was terrible. When CGC came out, they had the worst label. You couldn't even read the grade unless you were this close to the label. But it was the only label. So they created the market, they built it, and then they evolved to stay on top. And now they're just way too far in the game. Because they were on top whenever, when COVID happened and stuff. So CBCS shot themselves in the foot during COVID, sending their books to get graded at their graders' houses. Their terrible customer service, their turnaround times that were even longer than CGC's turnaround times. Like CBCS has shot themselves in the foot as well.
I guess we'll find out. So Into the Void land, as I still struggle to find a good name, the Void Squad, something. We need to find out when this auction is being held, and we need to either A, go, or B, watch it live with some drinks, because I'll do that. There's got to be a way to watch this thing. It's
probably going to happen during the day.
Fuck it, let's go, man. You own your business. I own my business. We'll watch it like C-SPAN, no volume. We'll just what's going on here? Is it up yet? No, it's there's got to be other cool things up for auction. If that's the case, Johnny, I swear to God, I'll skip work and come hang out with you. We can eat hot dogs and watch a C-SPAN version of a Soutbees or whatever it is, whatever you said, Heritage.
Does anybody know in the chat when that is going up for auction? Actually, hold on. hold on.
But then you must release me from the.
Yes. Yeah. No, I gotta go too.
I have to go first.
Baby. I have to go second.
There. Comic testing. Whoa, hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna read this while you're doing that. Comic testing says people counterfeit money. How do we know it's not happening with ultra high value books? Yes. Agreed. And I think that's why you're saying people counterfeit money. Well, how do we know they're not happening with ultra high value books? Yes.
Oh, it's been going on since the 80s.
That's why I think the whole.
It's been going on since before. It's been going on since before grading was a thing. Cerebus 1, TMNT number 1. Counterfeiting books was a thing for a while, which is why grading came about, because that was one of the perks of grading, was that this third-party person who's not selling the book or buying the book is verifying that this book is what it says that it is. That should be one of the best uses of the third-party grading system for sure.
But then they became rotten scoundrel bastards as well. Inner turmoil and, stealing within themselves for sure. No honor, Johnny. All right, you found it.
I didn't comment in the comment section below if you know when this auction for GSX 1 9.9 is taking place on Comic Connect, and that way we can set something up and maybe do a whole live watching. And 9.9 by CGC standards is a collectible nearly indistinguishable from a 10.0, but with will have a very minor manufacturing defect. It will not have any evidence of handling defects. So,
like I said, comic testing seems like they know what's going on here. They need to check paper fibers, but guaranteed they won't. Hey, who knows? It's already in a case. Who knows what they did? But I will say, if it's anywhere, hey, look, Johnny, if it's like in Mississippi, we'll go. Okay, I'll drive. We'll go. All right, we'll tailgate outside. Where do you think it'll take place? We'll go. Who cares? We can wear suits. We'll go inside.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They might have it on their site. I don't know. Not sure.
I wanna check it out. But anyway, let me get out of here. Love you, beautiful world. Love you, beautiful people.
Found it.
You found it?
Yes.
Put it on. I got a minute.
Hold on.
How quick my morals change.
Hold on. Okay.
I can be bought.
Here we go. Share screen. And
Boosh.
Okay. White pages? No way. It said it at the top. Starting bid $1. Whoa, $1 in.
I got that.
No reserve. Okay. Upcoming auction
reserve.
dates. Oh, TBD.
Wait a minute.
But it's gonna be in. But it's. Oh, is it June? Is that what I saw? June.
June when?
They don't know. It's to be.
Oh, TBD. Okay.
Yeah, it says auction TBD. So
are those the other books that are up for auction?
Yeah, Fantastic Four and a 3.0.
Who's selling the Gambit? Jeez, rookie.
9.8. 266. Hey, it's Comic Connect sells all sorts. I'm surprised that this is not going to fucking Heritage. Who knows? I don't know why, but it's not going to Heritage. I don't wonder why.
I think I'm gonna fetch a cool $100 for my Gambit #1.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
What? I just don't understand why that Gambit in there. I'm looking at old books, nice book, Gambit. Maybe it's just Gambit. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff. Yep.
My guy eats beignets for breakfast.
Yeah, he does. All right, guys. Thank you again, Rev. Always good to hang out with you and see you. Chat, thank you guys for hanging out and being part of this. Hit like on the way out. And
subscribe, share. Tell your friends tomorrow at work. Be like, yo, Rev and Johnny were talking about some stupid shit. They kept saying ejaculate.
Yeah. 4 ejaculate jokes in one stream. It's a lot of streams.
Oh, hey, 5.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right, guys.
All the love.
Thank you so much. Yep.
Later,
See y'all later.